Now to some of our educators. Meet Gem Ursino. She's kind of like our walking encyclopedia of exercise knowledge. But she's not just brains, obviously. She empowers women to embrace their bodies, capturing confidence and strength through powerful photoshoots.
I am Gem, I'm 26, I'm from Perth. I'm a female online transformation coach and sports nutritionist, and I work with women to help them find their love and passion for food and freedom and training in a really positive way. I was a dancer my whole life, so I feel like the pressure to be the smallest I possibly could was very loud when I was growing up, and I think once I hit that teenage awkward stage, I could see my body changing, and I was very aware with what society was telling us about food and the way to do it. And it was really the hard launch of like the bikini body and the 30-day challenge, and everything was about eating as little as possible and losing as much in a really short time frame. And then as I got into coaching, I really thought I was going to go down like the boot camp TV route. But the more that I was in the industry, I realized like, oh my God, like what we're teaching women is really damaging. And it kind of progressed into something that I was like, I actually really want to learn about my health and eating and how to feel freedom with my food, and not like I constantly was fighting the urge to eat or pick my social life, or if I was training, it felt like a punishment. I didn't want to do that anymore. So that's kind of where my journey in my business became about, I guess, taking away the pressure of fat loss, of that being more of a byproduct of the fact that you're happy with food and you have a good relationship with eating and training. And it took off from there, and now I do photo shoots with women to help them feel empowered by their bodies, rather than looking at a photo and being like, oh my God, I hate the way that I look, and feeling scared of their own reflection. It's awful. So that's where I started. It was from being a dancer, and then just being like, actually, I don't want to feel like I have to be a certain way all the time. And how can I feel free with my food? For sure, I was 17 and probably quite naive when I started in the fitness industry, but I think to a weird sense that like gave me not fake confidence, but I kind of was like, I'm just going to make this work. I have nothing to lose. People definitely didn't take me seriously though. I actually in my course had a couple of older people say to me like, go get a real job first, or like, you're too young, like older people won't take you seriously, like you're a teenager, what could you possibly teach them? But I really just was like, do you know what? No, like I actually really believe that I can help people. And I wasn't even trying to help men, I was trying to help women. So their opinions didn't really matter to me. But they all, now other people in my DMs congratulating me for doing so well, and they're asking me to be on their podcast and talk about success in the industry. So I think that the biggest thing I did really well was just like back myself and believe like, you have got a voice and you are educated, and you might be a teenager, but you're really passionate about learning about how to help women. So I just believed in that and I went with it.
Yeah.
And now I'm here. I think that there is a real want to be free with food, and they want to accept their body for how it is, but unlearning like years and years and years of awful beliefs that have been pushed on us, and wanting and knowing that there is a better life. Bridging that gap is probably what my biggest like journey with women is teaching them like, okay, I know you've got all these negative opinions about your weight and you still care about the scales, but you know that you shouldn't, and just slowly starting to change their mindset around them thinking that they're only a number, and their health is important and the way they feel is important. And if you're energized and you're training and you're happy, but you're not the smallest size you could possibly be, like that to me is winning over being the smallest version of yourself, but you don't have a social life, you can't enjoy wine, you feel guilty every time you eat a meal. Changing that mindset for women is like the biggest thing. I think a lot of them start with, I want to be 10 kilos lighter, and then the more they learn, the less they care about that. And it becomes about a lot more than just a number. It's surreal for me. Like, it's such a pinch me moment that I'm here like teaching, because I think that my goal is to be the woman that like I needed back when I was learning. I really felt like when I walked out of my course, like I know less than I started. Like, I felt confused. I felt, how on earth am I going to get a job in this industry? Where do you even begin? I feel very like tingly that I get to like have these beautiful girls sit in front of me and I'm like, hey, here's everything you need to know about making this career work. You can make this career work. Like, hold my hand, let me tell you how. Like, I love that I get to do that. And I also think it's great to see the community within these like EduVacations, like their friendships forming, or like you help them find their niche and what their passion is so they don't have to waste years trying to figure it out on their own. And I also just love that, like, I don't know, people, it's more than just a course. Like, that's what they get to come here for, and they have a lot of realizations about themselves and things that have been holding them back. So when they go back to the industry, they're not their own limits. Like, I love it. I love it. It's the best thing ever. My vision when I started was to be the leanest coach. I wanted to be everybody's background. I had other really lean individuals as my phone background for ages. And I wanted to be running these boot camps and helping people shred kilos and kilos and kilos. Now it's so much more than about fat loss. Like, it's about giving women the freedom to enjoy life and the tools that they need to feel like they're in control of their own body and their own training and their own results. And they have the education around female health that we're so sadly robbed of through our teens and our early 20s. Like, we're not taught how to take care of our bodies, like, at all. Like, really, everything we're taught is to almost do the opposite, like at any expense be the smallest possible. And I hate that. I was very fortunate to unlearn that quite early. So I think that my biggest passion is taking other young girls and people in their 30s and being like, hey, life doesn't have to be limited. Let me show you how to enjoy life and also feel good at the same time. You don't have to pick between the two. And other people shouldn't project their discomforts with their own bodies onto younger individuals. Like, the amount of times I've been asked, like, why are you wearing a crop top in the shops and things like that. And it's sad to me. I don't feel angry towards those women. I feel sad that they've been taught that they should be ashamed of their bodies unless they're covered up. Like, I feel very lucky that I have that confidence to be like, I'm allowed to have my rib cage showing. I don't feel embarrassed by my skin. So I want to make sure that the younger girls growing up don't feel embarrassed to just be around and seen. All the educators that I work with, I just adore them. Like, they've become some of my closest friends. And I think why I love that the most is because we're probably taught in this industry, since a lot of us are solo businesses, that we're competitors. I love that the space that we create is not about that. It's about there's room for all of us to be amazing and succeed. And there's a lot of people that need help out there. You don't need to compete with one another. We all give each other the best business advice. We support each other's businesses. We help each other. I love that. In terms of the students, like, I think it's very, very cool to watch some of them come in here really like, I don't quite know why I'm here. I just know that I have a bigger purpose. And by the end, they've really ditched all of those, like, I'm not allowed to change careers in my mid-30s or my 40s, or learning about my body is not selfish. I should have the right to understand why my body works in the way that it does or doesn't. Like, I love seeing that transformation. So yeah, there's a lot of stories. I think that it's hard to pick one. There's girls who are 18, there's the girls that are 50. Like, it's so cool that it's open to any kind of woman, really. I would say to anybody that was thinking to join this industry, just ask as many questions as you possibly can. The amount of conversations I've had with people who you would assume aren't willing to talk to you about their successes or their struggles, it's a no until you ask. Like, you might as well ask. Most people are really honest. And I think picking the brains of people that I respect has been why I've been able to make it so far. So if I could give you one piece of advice, ask.
It's awesome. Thanks, Gem.
Thanks.
The gym truly changed my life. It built my confidence. Every other element of my life improved once I started to prioritize myself and build confidence in the gym. I think the fitness industry has changed a lot. When I first started, I was doing solely face-to-face coaching. It was very much on the gym floor, working with clients one-on-one. Now we have access to social media. Online coaching is growing, which I think is a really good thing if used correctly. And the other type is the people that relate to me because of the gym anxiety. So the very first time getting into the gym properly, they've never had a coach. So they're the two people that I usually resonate with, and I love coaching. Not being small versions of themselves, which I am loving. especially when younger generations have more access to social media and personal training in the industries. So I think it's going in a good direction.